Oh yeah, bro.
Ooh,
Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it.
for sure,
Appreciate it. It's
man.
been a little while, huh? It's been a minute.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me pull up. This is super cool.
Yeah, yeah. Also feel like it's kind of something that more people could take advantage of too, right? Especially like
Mm.
music producers, like especially in LA and the how big the community is too, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Having a place to really talk. I mean, me as a producer, I guess only time I really talk as like on a platform is just on Instagram when I put myself out there. You know what I mean? And that's like different. I guess this is cool. This is like it's chilling.
Yeah, yeah. That's what you people realize like when they get here and actually get to sit down. It's like oh, like it's just chilling. It's not a because you would think of maybe you would relate it to like a radio interview or something a little bit more uh, formal. But
Yeah,
then you pull up, you crack the
yeah,
beer, you light the
yeah.
bowl, and like, oh, I'm cooling now.
It's
Now we're good.
right, right. It's the freestyling,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
making content online is like there's a lot more thinking that goes into it. I'm sure there's planning for podcasting for sure, but the
What?
freestyling's fun.
Yeah, once it's going, it's kind of just you just get a vibe out. Whereas yeah,
Yeah,
with content, you got all right. I gotta get this shot for the music video, and I gotta have this many fit changes, and we need this and that, and this
yeah,
many people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's up, man? You've been making music recently?
Not too much, bro. Not too much, man. I was
Yeah.
honestly out for like a good almost a year, I would say.
Okay.
How
Cool.
yeah,
I get that. The
I think I kind of got
focuses.
burned out a little bit, and it was kind of like everything, kind of like a perfect storm of two for it to happen. Like
Dude, yeah.
we had to move. I got a promotion,
Okay.
so I had like a ton of more responsibility. Like
Mm.
I started handling like a little bit more both sides of my trade, like the paperwork business side
Oh.
and the field like trade labor
Oh.
side. So yeah, so I've been out for a little while, but
I mean,
it
hey, that's good. I mean, I feel that it's easy to get burned out here. It's a lot of grinding that's got to go on
yeah
out here,
yeah yeah
especially doing music in a place like LA, man.
is
There's so many other people that's doing it out here, you know, which can be a good thing because there's a lot of people to work with.
yeah. Yeah, but then you gotta be able to network and make the right plays, right?
Yeah,
And get
exactly.
over like that little hump of like, oh, like I don't really know this guy, but I know, but I wanna like,
Yeah,
like come through for a
yeah.
session, like that type of shit. But
But
you
that's
can
a
make,
networking grind
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Which is kind of like it's like a cliche, right? Because the events are fun. Like
Yeah.
everybody's drinking, they're playing
Yeah.
music. It's kind of like it's a little bit lit, It's kind of lit
Yeah,
because
yeah.
of
You go,
the
you have fun. I definitely went to an event recently and I was supposed to go network, but like they had live music there and when the artist was going up and the music was so good, I was just busting a move and dancing,
hell yeah,
and going out there and I forgot. I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be networking too,"
yeah,
but
yeah.
kind of get.
And well, you could get back there. No, now you at least know about the spot,
Oh yeah,
about the
yeah,
place.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was Familiar Faces. I went to one of their events. It was pretty cool.
Is that like a little promotion
They
crew?
I don't know. I mean, I just went once. They throw events with other artists and
Right, right, right.
creatives in general,
Oh yeah.
so that's kind of like the more fun events that I like to go to out here, but again, it's like networking sort of.
Yeah, it's
It's
still,
part grindy, part fun, which is fun.
and it's you could easily treat it that way too, right? Like you could be
Yeah.
there and be like, all right, this guy, her, that guy, boom, that, all right, producer, boom,
Mhm.
like you can move around a lot. I mean, that's how we met, right? At the Something Dope, one of
Yeah.
there, like boom, just
Yeah.
doing the grind for sure.
Yeah. There's been a there, there's even like another group of people that's doing more like artist networking stuff around here in LA, which is cool. Like, which is this like half party, but mostly for artists
Yeah, yeah, for
and
sure. Producers and all the creatives, right? Which
yeah,
yeah, it's the more the better, definitely that, because
yeah,
that's just gonna bring more demand too. Like it's gonna make the events have to be good also,
Yeah.
or else they could just go to. Well, I could go to this one or that one. Like I'm gonna go to that one. That one's always
Yeah.
lit. So everybody will have to level up their competition or what they're doing.
Yeah, I've even seen some with like 3-day events where they'll have like meditations on like a Saturday, which is crazy too,
Yeah,
you know? Imagine going, you're like meeting someone on Friday and you're just like partying, and then like on Saturday you're like meditating with
yeah,
with
yeah,
that
yeah. Like in a
person.
group, huh?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, that's
that's
crazy.
cool.
I've never done that before.
Me neither, you
Right,
know,
right.
but that's the kind of stuff I'm down for that,
I wonder
you
if,
know?
yeah. Well, I think probably I know one person that's maybe I don't know. Do I know anybody in my whole life right now that's ever done a group meditation?
Do
I,
you? I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Have
Yeah,
you
I
ever
don't. I
meditated
can't.
before?
Nobody stands out. Like I'm sure people have tried to like meditate on their own, but like a group meditation at the park
Yeah.
and shit, like in the
Group?
woods.
What is a group? Like 3 people, right? You would
Yeah,
have to have 3 people.
yeah. I've seen some like on TikTok with like a pretty like big group, like 20 to 30 people, right? So that's what I
Yeah,
imagine.
okay, I feel
Yeah,
you. A
right.
big
Yeah,
ass circle in like the
yeah. Like the
park.
fucking
For some reason, I imagine them all wearing white,
yeah,
like, but
yeah,
that's
and the
kind of
pants
culty.
too, right?
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
So you're from Norfolk,
I'm from Virginia for sure, and I did live in Richmond for a bit, but mostly like Fairfax.
Fairfax.
For
That's the name of
yeah,
the city for sure.
yeah, it's like Northern Virginia,
Oh yeah,
right by DC. You know,
yeah, yeah. East Coast shit. Huh?
East Coast,
Crazy.
baby.
I was thinking like when we were, or when today was locked in for this, I was thinking like, damn, like Virginia's like not repped as a rap state or like, oh, like what's Virginia doing and shit, but the people that came out of there are insane, bro. Like
Yeah,
Pharrell,
yeah,
Timbaland,
yeah. That's
the
right.
Clips, Pusha T, like bro, that's for
Yeah,
Missy. I think Missy's
yeah,
from Virginia too, right?
yeah. Isn't that kind of crazy? That's something like. Where was that when I was there? That's kind of what I'm
Yeah,
like. Because when I was there, the whole reason why I left is because I felt like I couldn't really find that many music people. Wale was another one too, by the way. He's from
yeah,
DC. He's not
yeah,
from
for sure.
Virginia, but still, I feel like
It's
he's right
close
there.
enough.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I feel like I mean I think like Pharrell and Justin Timberlake were like Virginia Beach, but I was in
Yeah,
like
right.
yeah, man, I was in like Fairfax, and it was just like I
Is
don't
that pretty
know.
far?
I didn't really find anyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It's probably like 45 minutes from like DC or something like that. But I just didn't really find. It's a lot of like. It's a good place to raise your family. I'm gonna say that. It's like a really
Interesting.
old place. A lot of
Yeah.
shopping centers. Not much going on. You know,
Quiet, quiet.
super quiet. You know,
Uh,
kind of boring. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
yeah, for sure. I can see.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially for what you're interested in too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I ended up actually where I actually met music people was when I went to recording school up in Maryland. It was Omega Recording Studio. That's where I met my first like for real like people that do music other than like some in high school, you know, but um
It's easily could be a phase in high school, right?
yeah,
Whereas in a
that's
recording
a lot of
school,
people are doing a bunch of different things in high school,
right,
you
right,
know.
right.
I have noticed now there's a couple people that have like stuck to it, you know, which is pretty cool. I also used to hear a lot that like not a lot of people are like super connected out there. Like people from DC don't really talk to people from Virginia. People from Virginia don't talk to people from Maryland, and it's
Right.
like this whole like it's so weird because they're all like so close to each other and still don't really talk to each other, and that can be seen also in like the music because if they're not making music together either, you know.
Yeah, it's not. No bridges are being built. Yeah,
Yeah,
you said it was Omega Recording Studios.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They
How
had
many years were you there?
Oh, honestly, they just had like 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do this 1 year course, but you go like every day for like 4 hours.
Right.
And like I was just driving back and forth from Virginia to Maryland to go to this place, and that's where I learned most of my engineering stuff. Actually, it was really cool. I got to work on a console,
Oh.
which
Yeah.
yeah, three
Hardware.
yeah that one
Yeah.
right there.
Crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's the Neve right there. But
That's
yeah, which is super fun, you know. Like I don't know, there's actually twisting the knobs and pushing the buttons.
Yeah.
There's something about it.
Super
It's
intimidating
actually
to look at, right? Like,
it's
oh
intimidating
shit.
to look at for sure on the
But in
first
an
day.
exciting way, not in like a fearful way.
Yeah,
Like, oh
yeah.
shit. Like,
But it's
fuck.
fun to actually do it
Yeah, yeah.
once you know
Especially
what
when
you're
you have
doing.
somebody right there. That's
Yeah.
interesting because I don't know many people that have gone to any type of recording school or anything. Even though for
Yeah.
all the people that I know that make music, it's probably
Yeah.
also that it became a lot simpler to make music, right? Also,
I
I mean, you
guess,
can make music
yeah.
off a laptop, so
You can, yeah, but and you can also learn everything online for
right,
real, you know what I mean?
right.
You can go like there's like a 12-hour YouTube video on compression. It's like this guy made that. And like I actually started watching it like that was
I mean,
crazy and like it was in depth, but I still think that like learning from people that have done it before is like
right,
pretty
right.
important,
Yeah,
But also I think I had to when I was in there I had to like separate what they were teaching because a lot of what they were saying was like kind of old school stuff. And like
old
they
school,
don't be using the internet that much, so
old
like
school in that way that they're not really like tapped into.
yeah, like I guess the way they would talk about marketing wouldn't be up to date, I mean, it was so long ago I couldn't give you like any actual
Yeah, yeah.
examples right
But
now.
that was the
But I just
vibe.
remember,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that
was the
like
vibe you got.
you got to take everything they say with a grain of salt,
Yeah.
and you just kind of got to pick what might be important.
But as far as the technical side, being in there and being in those rooms, and
Yeah.
that's for sure. I mean, well, if you think about it, you're learning from YouTube. You're still learning from a person, and then that person's just not in the room. But to be, I mean,
That's
you
true.
have to.
Yeah, but you don't get that one-on-one,
Yeah,
like,
there's
you know
no
what
way
I
you
mean?
don't learn better.
Because it was small groups. It was only like maximum like 8 9 people in like
Oh
a
hell
group
yeah,
learning
yeah,
from
yeah.
this one
That's
person,
that's small.
and we could like talk to them, and
Yeah,
like
and
and
you
the
be familiar with each other too, right? Like that group.
yeah
Uh,
yeah, and the thing is that when you're learning there, you're in a legit studio. So when they play something through the speakers, it
mm,
sounds like it's supposed to sound. If you play something through an untreated room, you're gonna get all these like just all these like
yeah, like
echoes
a
and
mess, a
yeah, it's
mess,
just
right?
gonna sound all muddy
Yeah.
and yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
You know right away once you fucking hear something in a place like that, right?
Yeah,
It
yeah.
has to sound insane, right?
One of the craziest demonstrations I remember was still in like that really like their main room. They were like, "There's a dead spot in this room where you can't hear like this frequency, and if you just go stand over there, you'll hear it." And we all just one by one went and stood there, and like, dude, that's so crazy that like. And that's the kind of thing that like you can't get from a YouTube video. You know
Right.
what I'm
Well, can you
saying? Like you have to go
elaborate?
to a place
Yeah.
and actually experience it, and like
Can you elaborate on that a little bit more though? Like you in that dead spot.
yeah, yeah. So there's like, it's called like a standing wave. So basically, when there's a sound that comes out of a speaker and it bounces off the back wall, it'll bounce back towards the speaker
Right.
and hit the signal that's still coming,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
where it impacts will actually be like no sound. It'll either amplify or deaden.
Right,
And
right,
so
right.
depending on what the room is like or whatever.
Crazy. So you were standing right there and the speakers were on, bouncing off this wall, and you couldn't hear it right there in that spot.
Yeah, yeah. There's like but it's not like you can't hear the whole sound. It's like
Like,
certain frequencies. You
right,
know
right,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's because the way the room is designed.
Crazy.
Yeah, and so things like that, I feel like you can't
Mm.
really learn from just doing on YouTube, which I valued. Being there.
Yeah, no way you can experience things like that, right? There's also the vibe of being in a studio, right? I'm
Oh
sure that
yeah.
one's pretty. It's
Oh, it's
well,
so cool.
it's
Yeah.
well and it's well established. Like it's been there for a while too, right?
Oh yeah.
So
They
it has that
had.
like that vibe too of fucking of
Yeah.
being there, being
Yeah.
standing for a while.
Definitely, because it used to just be a recording studio, and then they started teaching
They couldn't.
people.
Right, right.
Yeah, they have that big room
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
badass right there.
They record orchestras and stuff.
Yeah.
Like for like the final project, we had to go out and find a band to record in one of the rooms and on one of the consoles, and we had to do it from the bottom to the top, which is like find the band, get them to come, know all the instruments, and then detail how we're gonna mic up all the instruments. Actually go in and schedule it with them on that day,
Yeah.
and then make and follow up with them. So which was cool because that's not like music
Work.
tech stuff, but it's music industry work,
Right,
which is
right.
like following up with talent and making sure that like they're actually gonna
Yeah.
pull up, like you did today. You were like,
Right.
hey, you were gonna come, you know what I mean?
We're
And
locked
like,
in. We're locked
yeah,
in. Yeah.
exactly. So like that kind of stuff, it's pretty valuable, and which was cool for like a final project. But
Yeah, that's a crazy. How did that project turn out?
oh,
And
it was
all in all,
really, dude, it was fun,
how
man.
did you guys find the band and all the way to the
Oh,
recording?
I was just out with friends at like a bar and in like this place called Bungalow in Virginia, and like they were playing some old school music, and I'm really into like things like I think they played like Grover Washington. It's just like some like
Like,
a bluesy soul kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
covers is what they were doing.
Right.
And so I was like,
Almost
man,
jazz too, like
yeah,
jazzy a
jazz,
little
and it
bit,
was a
right?
whole band. One of them had a flute. One of them had like they were just going crazy. The singer was phenomenal, and so we pretty much yeah. I was just like, dang, I just stayed till the end, and I was like, dude, y'all were amazing. Can I please like record you? Oh, Disco Biscuits. That's what that was their name.
Oh yeah, Disco
Yeah,
Biscuits. Huh?
yeah. It was cool.
Shout
I was
out.
like, please let me. I got you.
They agreed to it. They said they were
Yeah,
down.
man. I think by the end, of, like halfway, I think they had forgotten though because that it was, I checked up with him, but I think I had to check up again, and like there was some issue with like the original singer wasn't with them anymore because it was like I found him so early, and the end project wasn't for like months later. So I guess
Crazy.
people got lives and they forget stuff, and so yeah, but they pulled through. It was amazing. We had like a really good recording. It was like just four of them in there, and they did a cover of "What You Won't Do for Love," and
Oh.
I was like, "That's perfect.
Ooh.
That's amazing." And they did two other songs. They did an original, which I have some of them. I have them somewhere, but like
Yeah.
they did really good, and like that was a really cool experience, just recording like a whole band live,
Right.
or just yeah, live. In
Yeah.
the
Well, I mean, a
studio.
band's awesome in a studio. I mean, in a venue because it's live. So I could imagine in a studio and then without the crowd and shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you're right there and you're trying to accomplish. Like
Yeah,
I've
yeah. And you got full control over like what they sound like. So like
yeah.
I'm just like, I'm getting the nice balance and like I'm adding effects. I'm like unplugging things. I'm like plugging more things and like
Yeah.
pushing more buttons. You know what I mean?
All mid take.
Oh well, no, before just like because
All
like you
right,
have to
right.
like they have outboard processors for effects. So like delays aren't like they had, of course they had Pro Tools and stuff, and you can use those delays, but they had like physical delays that you had to plug in to
Right.
the board. So yeah, and like man, that was like so much fun. But like of course like all those things that like I got to do, like I feel like that was like the last time I ever did them
Right,
because
right.
like then I started,
Working off a laptop.
everything is just in the box. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I feel like the only time you would really need to use one of those boards right now would be to just like once you have the song done and you just run it through just to get like the juice, because it still has like a nice sound when you run
Yeah.
sound through
'Cause
hardware.
well, I heard Ali say because it has actual electricity.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so, it's not just coding on a.
Yeah, yeah.
There's actual power in it,
Heat, resistance,
right?
all those things.
Yeah, which is
you
crazy,
know?
crazy concept to even think about that music.
Yeah.
As like DJ Quick always talks about recording on tape too.
Oh,
Like
okay,
that.
yeah.
Can you pull that up? Like DJ Quick talking about recording on tape, because I seen him on Talib Kweli's podcast, and I've heard him and seen him multiple times where he's talking about it.
Oh, I didn't
Like,
know he had a podcast. That's cool. I used to listen to him all the time.
Talib Kweli, yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
yeah,
interesting,
man.
right? So yeah, he always talks about it. And I'm like, man, he said it'll pick up on the
Mm.
party. If there's a party in the studio, the tape will fill it.
Oh.
Some magic that happens that we don't know about that happens with tape. Magnetic tape is magnetic, and it's electricity, and it's electricity that reforms the shape of just it lines all the molecules up to be what they are. But while it's doing all that technical shit, it's also picking up the energy in the room, your vibrations as a human being, how you're feeling. and it attracts itself to the tape as it's going around. So you're recording energy too, vibe in the room. Yeah. You hear me? And if there's a party in the room, it gets on the tape. Yeah. Stains it. Like that carpet I was telling you about. That's what you're missing. Tape, digital doesn't do it. It's just O's and ones. It's just lining up what it hears. Tape, and it also compresses all of the sound, so it gives you the automatic boom bap naturally, because it automatically knocks it back so it could be turned back into an audible sound, because it's just electricity and magnetism and particles. But when they all line up, it's like the fucking planets lining up. It becomes something like cosmic. It becomes a thing that lasts forever. Yeah. That's what you're missing. This second harmonic distortion, for every kick you put on there, and kicks like usually hit at 100 hertz, it'll record 50 hertz and 200 hertz at the same time. So your kick is 3 times as powerful when it comes back. And snares. And your vocals. You sound like 3 people instead of 1.
Damn.
Yeah, this is your super friend hologram.
Bro, he sounds like a physicist right there, huh?
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, I know it's magnetic. I never thought about it with picking up people's energy like that.
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
I mean, it's even, that's like something that is said and we kind of accept it now, but we actually do have like a energy vibration coming out of like our beings, right?
I believe that. Yeah, have you ever tried to see an aura? Someone's aura?
No, like,
Yeah, like the
visibly?
light. With your eyeballs.
yeah,
dude.
like when they
There's
tell they tell you're glowing, or
Yeah, dude.
I seen her, she was glowing.
Yeah. I tried. I could never see one. I tried. I'm sure some people can.
Yeah, I'm sure people are claiming to be able to do it. Somewhere on the depths of the internet.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, and his music sounds like that too, right? It sounds like it's recorded on tape, and it has that there's like a certain touch to it that really sounds like it
makes it a little dirty.
His party jams are.
Yeah.
You know,
adds a little bit of noise.
Right.
You know, there's this plugin called RC20. It also adds some noise. But it's not the same as an actual tape machine. I know Waves has some plugins like that. There's a bunch of emulators, but yeah, I don't think it would be like a regular, like an actual tape machine.
Yeah, that makes me want to. We gotta run that then, right? But that's insane, right?
But that's if you want it dirty, if you want your sound to be dirtier, which a lot of people like.
Yeah, and the cleaner shit gets, and it's getting more cleaner and more perfect and more better mixed, then it's gonna people are gonna eventually not want that, right?
Yeah, I've heard people say it's too clean.
Yeah, when you Look at Me by XXXTentacion, that shit. The mix was crazy rough.
Yeah.
His vocals sounded
gritty.
Dry. It sounded dry.
Oh, I'm thinking of the beat. Usually when I listen to music, I hear the beat first,
right?
Before and remember the beat mostly, than the vocals. Unless I really like the vocals and the rapper or the artist or something like that.
Yeah, can we listen to "Look at Me" by X? Yeah, it's better. Is that intentionally distorted, or
it sounds dirty? That's the dirtiness that I'm talking about.
Yeah, right.
When it's distorted and it sounds fucked up,
like on a broken mic type shit, right?
Almost, yeah. That might just be the TV though, but yeah, it's still dirty.
Yeah, right.
It doesn't sound crispy and clean.
No, not at all. And that was part of it though too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because this shit hit like a fucking like a epidemic or something, right? Like a fucking virus.
Oh my
bro.
gosh, dude, that's
crazy.
I can still remember moments of me listening to him.
Right.
When I was driving, which is crazy.
Everybody was using it too for the turn-ups. Like every show we went to, the DJ before the main act, everybody was using this shit. Everybody was using it. Because we were going to a lot of shows around that time too. Going to peeping game and seeing and trying to network and see how people were performing. And I remember they were knocking that shit. R.I.P. the guy too, huh? That's just kind of
man.
Right now, seeing that cover art, damn, that shit's sad.
Yeah, man. He was a really good artist.
Yeah, insane. Complex.
It was one of the ones.
Range was crazy.
Yeah,
his range was insane. From fucking alternative shit to straight rage, rap to bars, everything.
And honest and emotional.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
those things like real. That's kind of like what got me with Kid Cudi. You know, it was just like, oh,
Right,
it's
right.
different. You know, back
Yeah.
back then.
This was like the because
Uh,
this was the kids Cudi,
Yeah,
right?
the new, the new
no
kind
pun
of.
intended. This was the kids at
Yo,
the
I'm dead.
the,
That's pretty good.
the generation. I'm saying the generation after us because we're like the same age, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for real.
yeah.
It
So
really
this was the kid. I'll say
yeah.
because this song does remind me of the kids because it was like my little brother was around at that time too.
Yeah.
Shout out little bro. So
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is like the kids like this shit, but of course we liked it too. Like when
Yeah, I mean, it still sounded dope, but
Yeah,
it definitely
yeah,
had
yeah.
like a little friend that I was like, what dude, he was listening to all the time.
But they
know?
embraced this motherfucker like you know, like, oh shit, there's never been and there had never been one like him.
Yeah, it's one of those ones,
Yes.
man.
But yeah, similar, right? The impact of Cudi.
Yeah,
I just listened to Day and Night today, like in full. I mean, you know, I'm sure
it still hits.
it still hits, but you skip it a lot. I'm sure. You know, I'm sure
Yeah,
I'm sure
of course.
Most people
This-
skip it a lot.
I mean, of course, you
Yeah.
know that's one of those songs you got to be in the mood for.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
I hadn't
You gotta
listened to it.
be-
I'm like, damn. I remember being in at school, at high school, and somebody was playing it on their phone. I was like, oh shit! Like I didn't even really know nothing, and then I didn't know nothing about him. Then, you know, whatever. A month later, it was all over.
That's how I heard.
Power 106.
That's how I heard "Ghosts and Stuff" by Deadmau5 in the cafeteria. My friend was playing it on his phone.
Hell yeah.
You know that song?
No, I've never heard it.
Deadmau5,
Nah.
Ghosts and Stuff. That's like the.
We could
We
get a
should
little
play
bit of it going.
that. That's like the song that got Deadmau5 popping off, and I was like, I remember hearing it. I was like, what is that? Like,
Yeah.
I need to hear that.
What was that what you said in the cafeteria? What was the like?
Dude,
the- was
I was in high school, bro. Like,
Yeah.
this was bad. Dude, this dude was in Canada, like, I don't know, making YouTube
Cooking up in
videos
the
with
room.
him on the DJ mixer, like, yeah, you know this song, man, come on, bro. But yeah, you hear it, and it's just like, I think it was a synth that got me.
Yeah, I mean those drums are nuts too.
Yeah, but imagine on like a shitty phone from
right,
like
right,
2000
right, yeah,
and
yeah,
like
no.
I don't know.
You ain't gonna hear those drums at all.
Yeah.
That shit's gonna sound like somebody stomping, fucking
Yeah,
just tapping
dude.
their foot, huh?
Yeah, just hear the freaking hi hats.
Yeah, I got you.
And the vocals.
Crazy. Do you remember like what was the vibe going on right there at that moment?
Dude,
Like, as
no,
far as, like, who
I
was in the mix?
we were
or-
just talking about some bullshit, and then like my friend just played it on his phone. I was like, "Oh my god, what is that?" And then I just like dove. I was just like diving into his music, man.
right.
And then he became one of like the greatest friggin' DJs ever with the friggin' Deadmau5 head. I was driving down here and I saw that big cube on the highway. You know what I'm
Right,
talking
right,
about?
yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure he got the idea of his cube because he used a big cube during his DJ sets, and he like on the front of the cube he projects all these graphics and stuff like that. You
Hell
know?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he got the idea of just driving up and down that thing, which is crazy.
It was probably easier to discover good music back then. Well, I mean, not like off a phone, right? Because when now so many people are able to play shit off the phone that if we hear it in public, it's kind of like annoying, right? Or like not annoying, but it's like if somebody's playing it in the gym or at a restaurant or like at a bar or something, or like chill, like there's music here already.
Yeah, well,
But
I feel like at least now, like iPhones got some pretty good speakers in them, so
Yeah,
you
so
can
they're
play something
knocking,
off
right?
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but most of the time, if I'm hearing a song from like an artist that I really like, I'll probably play it on some good speakers, or I'll like wait
Right,
till I'm in
right.
the car,
Yeah.
or like have headphones or something like that.
But back then, if somebody was playing off their phone, like they had to
Oh,
make
that's
sure
all you got,
it
right? You
was
have
a
nothing to
bang,
compare it to.
and
Yeah, just listen to that, man. Come on.
This is what we're listening to,
This
and
is
they had
it.
to make sure it was a banger too,
I
right?
mean, I think it was just cool to even play music on your phone.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's
bro.
what it was. So it's like, let's.
I remember I not graduated. What's the other one? Culminated from middle school to high school, and my mom, that was the deal.
I would
like,
say graduated.
Yo,
but
yeah, it's
Yeah.
some shit.
Okay.
But nonetheless, she said, "Oh, get you a phone," and
What was it?
a chocolate, a Verizon chocolate.
Oh my
Yeah, you
gosh,
pull-
I remember that.
pull
Those were
that
so
up.
cool. It had like a little square that you
I
kind
don't
of
remember.
swipe. Oh.
Yeah, well, you flipped it up, like you slid it
Oh
up. I
my
think it
god.
was
Okay,
one of the
that's
black
what it
ones.
was.
Maybe the black one all the way on the right.
Those are so
Yeah,
cool.
that one.
Those are so cool.
No, I think it was a little bit more round on the top. I'm not sure, but that was the first time I was able to play music. But it costed minutes. Like one song was however many
Wait,
minutes.
what? To play music?
Yeah, well, because I didn't have a plan back then. I just had like prepaid. So I
But
think
how
right
did you
there-
even play music? I didn't even know you could do that.
Go back?
I just know you had to buy. You could buy ringtones.
No, you could. I could right there, bottom left. One
Oh,
more to
they
the
probably
right.
has some like app or something
Left.
like that.
That one. I think it's that
Oh,
one.
see, you had to pay
May-
for it. That's why I didn't know nothing about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I'm not paying for this.
And I remember playing shit and people, like, hey, play this song. Like, yo, bro, nah, I can't spend no more minutes. Like, nah, that's it.
Well, my
Speci-
parents aren't paying for this. That's
Yeah, specifically, I remember being at like the homie's house in the backyard, like on a Friday, and I think we were bumping Cypress Hill, like just on some
Oh,
winter,
that's fire.
right? Some wintertime smoked out shit, and we're
Oh,
kids,
that's
you know, we're
cool.
probably 13, 14.
What? And you're smoking? That's crazy. You said that's so true. But that's the LA thing, I guess, right? Because you were in LA when you did that?
Yeah, yeah. I was in
See,
East
not in
LA, bro.
Virginia. Oh, nah.
Yeah,
Not
now
in
I
Virginia.
there's no way I was 15 at that moment I'm thinking of. So I would say 14.
I mean, I'm not judging you at
no,
all.
no,
It's
not
just
at all.
like,
Yeah, I'm just trying to confirm in my mind like it's
Yeah.
impossible I was 15. So I was either 14 or 13.
mm,
Yeah, so and I remember and they were
Fucking
like, yo,
just
get this one. I think it was they wanted the Yo quiero fumar, the Cypress Hill in Spanish, the I want to get high. They wanted that one. I'm like,
oh my
nah,
God.
that's it, bro. Like I'm out of minutes, you know. Like that's it. We're gonna have to shut it down today. You better go get the radio from inside.
Yeah, I'm dead.
Can we get a little bit of that? Cypress Hill, yo quiero fumar. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, shout out the Loke. Shout out Payne too. Free Payne one time. Free the Loke. I don't know who else was there. Maybe Jesse was there. Shout out Jesse too. What's the what was the nearest venue where you could see artists over there in over there in home?
I would say Echo Stage.
And that's where.
It's in DC actually.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
but that was kind of more when I was an adult.
Yeah.
I guess where I would go, and that's where I would see a bunch of DJs like freaking, I don't know, Carnage comes to mind, bingo players, all
Yeah.
those years ago. Bro, that's when I
remember-
first got into like dance music, man, for real.
Is
And
that's
kinda
not DJ Carnage or is that just Carnage? Because there's
I
a
think
DJ
it's-
Carnage that like worked with G-Eazy too, right? Is that the
I
same
think
guy?
it was just Carnage. It's
Carnage,
like this
yeah.
big black dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But now he
DJ
actually does DJ. He DJs like
Right.
Spanish things, and he goes by Gordo
Oh shit.
or Gordo. in
Yeah,
English.
no, because I remember seeing him around. He was like cooking with G-Eazy a lot. I know they had a couple
Oh, for
tracks
real?
that that we would play and shit.
Oh, okay.
How
yeah.
long was that drive? Just from home
From home to where?
to the
Oh, to Echo Stage?
yeah, to
Oh,
Echo
dude, like
Stage.
45 minutes, man.
Yeah, right. So that's the trip, right?
Yeah, I just
You said
remember.
it's in DC.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So that's the go-to for all.
Well, it was when I was going out.
Yeah,
For sure,
right.
you know, and I was into like the rave scene and like freaking. Yeah, raving basically. all the fun that comes along with that.
Yeah,
I
for sure.
guess. You know, you take a little pre-party nap in the 45-minute drive before you get there.
Yeah.
And then
That
you get
sounds
there.
nice. That sounds
Yeah,
nice,
you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Only if you're not driving and like, you know.
For everybody else, it sounds nice. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
maybe one person will stay up with the driver. You know,
Yeah,
they'll
it's
have
cool.
a beer or
There's-
something.
Yeah, but you know, just a nice little power nap before
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go and like dance
Clutch,
for like
clutch.
4 or 5 hours.
Shake it off when you get there.
You
Hell yeah.
get there
Yeah.
and like, oh wow, there's like already like a bottle of like Tito's here. You know, like might as well just like drink the
Get
crap
to
out of
it.
this. You know,
Yeah,
you're gonna have to wait in the line.
that's interesting. That was it was always that for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that like you always had to go there and
That was the place to go. There was other places later, like warehouse things, but those were kind of sketchy in Virginia and Baltimore, and also maybe just because I wasn't really in the scene. That's probably why though.
Yeah.
You know? I really didn't know much of what was going on.
And you knew you had to play it cool.
Yeah, I know they had a bunch of clubs. I remember there was like a place called Fur Nightclub that I was always hear about on the radio, and I was like, oh man, it must be cool. But by the time I was old enough to go, it was like closed down. So I guess it wasn't that cool.
Or else it would have kept salad.
Yeah, it would have kept going.
It would have kept bringing in enough money.
Yeah, I don't think I missed much.
Yeah.
I don't know. But the clubbing scene isn't even like. Even now, I don't even think clubbing is like.
I don't know what's going on, right? Yeah, I don't know what's going on because even in LA, it's kind of. Well, I mean, I never got into it. Like, I never been to any of the big like Greystone or any of those, the famous places in LA. But I don't know. I don't hear rappers talking about them much anymore.
Yeah.
Have you seen the little phenomenon of like the coffee shop DJs in the morning?
Oh,
Like the
like
house DJs
on
that
YouTube?
Yeah, and like on
Fuck
TikTok,
yeah,
I've been seeing
man.
them.
I be playing that shit. That's what I'm trying to do, bro. There's this one couple I saw in there, and they were like out on the field, and like one of them was DJing, the other one had like a little table and was just like cooking, like cutting some cheese or something, and like just cooking something up.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
Vibes,
the vibe,
huh?
you know. That's
Do you know who they're
nice.
called? That one with the cheese cutting?
Oh man, honestly, I would just probably go and put like
House
yeah,
music couple.
house music,
Yeah.
DJ outside. I don't know, cooking.
DJ couple and Phil though.
No.
Right, look
You'll
at-
see a bunch of green. Keep going down.
Right there by the river too. Oh, man, look at that one.
I mean,
That's hard,
I'm sure
huh?
they cook and DJ in other places, So maybe it's that couple. I can't tell, but like. Oh no, it's definitely that couple. It's definitely that one that was playing up top. That couple, yeah, with the green.
homies,
It's
yeah.
gotta be them.
Flavor Trip. That's a
It's
good
gotta
name.
be them. Yeah, I remember that dude's hair. That dude's hair was crazy. I was like, holy
You ain't forgetting that shit, huh?
Yeah, it's gotta be them.
Yeah, I've been seeing those. I feel like that's a part of it too, right? That those, and they're selling it that way too.
Yeah,
Those.
it's kind of
little-
intimate though,
Those house sets, like, they're sound like, oh, clubbing's dead. Now it's coffee shops. When the
Why do you think?
and they're in the morning too. Like they start like at 10 or whatever. 10 to 2 is the set. So it's just like a little
What
hit,
the
right?
fuck? That's like a 9 to 5 DJ job, and it's like that sounds kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like a 10 a.m.
You
to
know?
2, and you still have your whole
Little
day.
coffee shop gig.
And even for the people pulling up too, like they gotta get something out of their morning, right? And they're not,
Yeah,
and they're not drinking alcohol, so they're not gonna be
Yeah.
hungover at 5 p.m. neither.
Because there's a lot of DJs that like to DJ but hate the lifestyle of a DJ,
Right,
which is like
right.
staying up late, and then if they're like prone to drinking alcohol a lot or are addicts, it's like
Yeah,
super
always
hard
being
for
around
them,
it, yeah.
to be around drunk people all the time and like doing that, unless you're doing like corporate things
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
weddings.
Usually you're not able to get up very early, right?
Yeah,
When
you
you're
know how
out
they get
late like
those-
that,
yeah.
and you're here, and then you're driving home, and it's
A lot of them
pretty
have
late.
2 jobs, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? DJ gigs are like on the weekends.
And then when you're leaving and it's late, you're already hungry too. Like, fuck, now I gotta get
Oh,
some
now you
food,
gotta eat
and
like
I'm gonna
shit.
stay up even a little bit later too. I'm gonna stay
Yeah.
up another hour just to get some food.
Yeah, all that. So I support that. I'll definitely, man. I'm about to look for a nice little coffee shop place to go
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
to
I'm
with
sure
a
you ask
DJ.
them and you bring enough people, right? They'll be
Oh.
down.
Well, I was just saying just to go watch one. I mean, that
Oh,
sounds
right.
like chill,
Yeah,
but
I
even
haven't
just
been to
going
one
DJ
either.
would
I've
be
just been seeing
cool.
them.
Yeah, but I've been watching those like all the time. Even it seems like, even in like, there's a bunch of New York DJs that are doing like sets, and they're always like in little tiny apartments, which is so interesting.
Yeah, it's the
And,
vibe too. I mean,
it's a vibe.
Seen Fred Again's on the rooftop in London, and it's like not really packed. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's
and he
maybe,
has
I
like
don't know,
one
20
mixer. and,
Yeah, it's like
thing
20
with it.
people maybe. He's
Yeah.
like sitting down at a little fold-out table.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
it's cool, man. It seems like there's a lot more DJing going on online.
Right. Yeah.
You know. I wonder why though the clubs is not like people are there's not a lot going on. I mean, I've been out. I remember going out and I went to some, and I just don't see a lot of people dancing all the
Yeah,
time.
it's like it's more of a flex, right? It's not for
Like
you're
when
not
you're
really
out.
there for the vibe. You're more there for the
Just to be-
status symbol.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here. You
yeah.
got, like,
And I'm
a
here in
table
the
or
private
something.
and sparklers on sparklers. More, it's like competitive.
Dude, once when I first moved out to LA, I got here and went to a party, and it was like a day party, which was like the first time ever I had been to one that was like a legit, like, like a club but in the daytime. And we go in and there's like swings, and there's like girls like swinging on the swing, and like this is the first time I've been in LA, so it's a bunch of new things to me. There was like little people dancing on the bars, which was also just an interesting thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, wow, that's like a nice touch. And then like
Just
they had
another
this
party favor.
yeah, and then to bring out a bottle, they had like a girl in like in like a little race car, and she had the bottle like with the sparkler in her hand. There was like 6 dudes carrying her up in the air.
What the
And I was like, what's going on? Some girl came down from like the ceiling. I was like, LA is crazy.
I should have been here forever.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that was literally the first week that I got here, and then everything closed for COVID.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't even say that, bro.
Yeah.
Would you know what club that's at, or a bar? Or... probably not, right?
No,
Yeah, because I ain't never seen no shit like that. Even the shit in a race car,
dude. No,
I
that
could
was
pick, and at a date, and the daytime
at the
too.
in
Like,
the
yeah.
daytime.
Those type of actions, that type of behavior better be reserved for nighttime,
Dude,
bro.
it's crazy because you come out of that and you're like fucked up by it's like 6 p.m. And it's like, what do you even do for the rest of the day?
Right.
Just keep getting more fucked up.
You gotta get some food, kind of recover a little bit, drink some water, and then get ready to go out to the evening
Again?
function.
I don't think I'd be able to survive that. Maybe
Yeah.
when I was younger.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able
no,
to
me
do
neither.
it.
But I'm saying like that's the
That's what
the
you
appeal
do.
of it, right? I
Yeah.
would assume. I don't know.
I
know.
guess.
So I mean, if I'm out on a Saturday and I'm already buzzing like that, like I'm not gonna want to just go home at 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Oh yeah,
Unless I'm
definitely
really
not.
burnt out.
I'm trying to go out.
Yeah.
I feel that.
You're already, you're already rolling, a couple drinks in, but now you
Yeah.
can't get too faded though. Just
That's
you're
right.
gonna be blackout drunk at a daylight party, huh?
You gotta keep a steady like drunk.
Yeah. Yep.
Once you get too sober, you drink a little bit. But
Yeah,
you
you gotta
can't
survive.
drink too much though.
Yeah, rationing. You gotta
Yeah.
rationing. You gotta ration all the way
There's a
through the night.
science to
Yeah.
getting fucked up in the daytime.
That's some sitcom shit right there. Pull out the whiteboard.
Yeah, it's
daytime
true, though.
drinking. Boom.
Yeah, there's so much more thought that goes into it. Because
Yeah.
if you get fucked up at like 10 p.m., you just
do-
get fucked up,
yeah,
and it's,
yeah.
no matter how fucked
The
up, you
night's
just go
over.
back and knock out, or you'll get sick and knock out, or go to jail
Yeah.
because you did
Yeah.
some dumb shit. But
We'll
yeah,
keep it in with the first two.
Sure, yeah.
First two options.
Sure, yeah, but in the daytime you have to
Yeah.
do more things, I guess.
Day
I mean, I guess
party,
you could
huh?
just knock out at 6 p.m., but then I guess your whole day's fucked up.
And
The next
you were
day,
fucked up the whole day. Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, and I've never been. Let's see, what's the best day party, day clubs in LA? Does that shit happen in Orange County? Maybe in like, nah, not really. Sounds like LA thing.
I think it's the LA thing.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. Orange County is cool though. I kind of hung out here for a bit. It's like it's kind of
Yeah.
preppy though. I kind of feel like.
Yeah, a little bit. There's spots though. It's chill.
I don't know. I've only been here for like 3 days total in my entire life, so I can't. I can't say much. I might have just been the area I was in.
Little Uzi or what? Like, oh, where you guys go to school? Like, oh, I only been here 3 days.
Yeah.
Only been here 3 days. Yeah, nah. We gotta see about these day clubs, man. So you said you got there, you see that, and then COVID hits.
Yeah.
You got here, or here there.
Yeah, and COVID hits, and
How long do you think you were in to your stay when you was at the race car?
Oh,
day
dude,
club?
so that was like I got here probably like on a Monday. That was like on a Thursday or a Friday.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then like cuz I got here like on the 4th or the 5th or something. And then everything closed on like the 10th or the 15th or something like that. You know what I'm
Damn,
saying?
that's
So
wild.
like
You got here
literally
in
it was
March?
like literally 1 week. And then-
Wow.
yeah, I got here in March cuz I had got my ticket in December, and
Yeah.
it was kind of like a fuck it, like one-way ticket, like let's fucking do it, like you know.
Yeah, you're ready for it.
Yeah, because I had been doing music already, and like I said, in Virginia, I didn't really find a lot of people that did music, and like I was really looking for like a like I don't know, like a challenge, like a life challenge, but also just to be around other people that are like way better than me at music. Not to say that I was really good at music, but just like I didn't have any other people around me that did music.
Yeah, you kind
So
of
like
like
either like bounce ideas off of or grow off of or get like some
right,
solid criticism and like
get gamed up from.
yeah, and like I would put things up on the internet, but I guess I wouldn't get too much like feedback of the like them like oh it's like cool, you know what I mean, but that's like
Yeah,
not the feedback I was looking for. I was looking for like more detail,
yeah, more of the
you know.
growth too, like
Yeah, something I could learn from,
more
for
of
real.
the professionalism.
Yeah, something deeper than like this is cool or this sucks.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like why does this suck? Like tell me, and so yeah, so that's why I was like fuck it, like let me just get that ticket.
Was that the driving like force behind it, the music and
Yeah,
that
well,
specifically, or what was it?
mostly like like my parents. I was living at home at the time, and my parents were splitting up, so I was like, oh, I'm not trying to live with either one of my parents. I mean, it would have been like whatever, but I was trying to do my own thing,
Yeah,
and the options were pretty much like DC or Maryland, which would have been all right, I'm sure. Or and then like I was working at the Guitar Center at the time, and I had a manager there that had used to live in LA. And I remember he was driving me home once, and I was telling him my whole situation. He was like, "Dude, you should just go to LA. Like you got so much drive, and like, dude, your work ethic, like you should just go out there and do it." And I was like that night, I was like, "All right, cool, like fuck it, like." Let's do it. Like I had never really lived in
yeah,
Maryland or DC like that as an adult, and I didn't know much. So to me, it wasn't much more different from like LA.
right, right.
Like I mean, it's kind of like naive, honestly. Like
And you
thinking
weren't
back.
leaving much. Yeah, like you weren't leaving like too.
Yeah, like I wasn't really happy there anyways because I wanted to relate a bit more like in the music way with people, like in that sense. Like I definitely had like friends and stuff, but I kind of felt a little bit more disconnected because, like I said, there's not much to do over there, um, other than like kind of like party, I think. And I wasn't just really into partying at the time. I was like, oh, how can I do this music thing? Um, and yeah, and I felt like I just wanted to be closer to other people that did it, or maybe other where people had been successful too. I don't know, like
You
something,
just wanted,
because I
yeah,
literally felt like I was just in an island over there, and
and
like
going
looking
around
around, there's
in
no one around,
circles in the same island, huh?
and there's just no one here. And
Man,
then other
that's
than this like little like window, which was my computer, and like there's a bunch of other people there that do music, and this is where I
right.
hear other music, and this is where I make my music. But
Crazy.
like,
Yeah, so that's the title of the episode too. Circles on an island. That's a bar right there. Doing
hey,
circles on an island.
hey.
So you're having that conversation with the manager. He says just go to LA. He says it pretty nonchalantly. Is that a fair?
He was
Like
just
he
like
suggests it,
he was like, dude, you should just do it.
or
Um,
maybe not nonchalantly. He said it
no,
like
he
with
just
passion.
straight up. He
Yeah,
just
like he
straight
meant
up
it.
said it because I
Right, right.
was also just, telling him the situation with my parents and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I
Giving
really
him the whole
didn't know where
rundown.
to go, and like what to do.
So
But I just know I wanted to do music, and that's why he said that. And I, was just like, all right, cool. At the time, my sister was already out here. She was literally the only person in my family that had already been out here.
right,
So I was like, okay, at
that's
least
good,
I
right?
have a
That's a
place
good
that I
thing.
can go and stay. I transferred my Guitar Center job. Honestly, I put my request in to transfer on the same day that I got my ticket. Like I didn't even know if I was gonna be able to like transfer my job, but
Right,
I was like,
right.
fuck it, like I'm going, like whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
even matter.
So when you heard that, you're like, fuck yeah, huh? Like,
Yeah, like you
oh
know what?
shit,
That's
that's
like
good.
I guess that was like all I just like needed is just like I don't know. I guess I didn't know why I was limiting myself to like the area that I had known the entire time, which was DC, Maryland.
Yeah,
Why not? And it did help that my sister was out here. You know what I mean?
for
Because
sure.
like I would have had to definitely save up for like a place or be in a place. Though there have been people that just straight up come here and don't even have that.
Yeah, yeah.
And
They
like
just thug
figure
it.
it out.
They just thug it out.
They just took it out. They
Yeah.
have like maybe a month and stay in hotels or something.
And then they fucking they
yeah,
get that.
and they
Then
grind
they're, all right,
it.
cool.
Yeah, and that was gonna
let's
be
get started.
my whole thing. Is like I was gonna come out here and like I know how to do like live sound. I can record a whole band.
Right.
You know, like I can do whatever. I was just gonna go to clubs and like get cool with either the DJs or like
The
the
sound
owners. Try
guy,
to
yeah.
talk to somebody and get in somewhere. You know, and so I got my ticket in like December, and yeah. But by the time March rolled around, like COVID, like, cause I thought COVID was gonna be like Ebola, so I really didn't care, you know. But like by the
Yeah.
time it came, I was already here, and then it was like much more serious out here, you know, and everything really close.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, it wasn't taken as seriously as it was out here in
Crazy.
LA.
Yeah, they fucking.
You know?
We lost our shit, huh?
Yeah, so there was a crazy experience just in all that. I'm glad I did the move. It was like it's kind of crazy, like doing such a big like it really was like a leap of faith, and like I'm leaving like all my friends and family, except obviously my sister was gonna be out here,
Right.
which like I'm so thankful for that she was able to help me being out here for real, you know. But like still, even that, like leaving everything you've known is like it's a hard decision to make, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
there's-
think it was like needed for my growth.
Yeah, you were ready for it. Yeah. So from that conversation, when's the flight? Like how long is that time span?
Oh, from that conversation, it was probably like a month or a month and a half, probably. You know, because the
Damn.
ticket was like 110 bucks or something for one way.
Yeah.
You know, so I didn't. And then I just had to like get my dog checked because I just brought my dog Major here. You know, and like you have to take him to the vet before they fly, so I had to do that. And that was it. You know.
And then that's life right there too, huh? To
Yeah.
get here and then COVID hits and that like takes away
Yeah.
your one of the main
The main
the
plan
main-
that I had was to go to live events,
Yeah.
and talk to
Crazy.
people, you know, and I couldn't
and try
do
to get
either
some
one of them.
stability through live events.
Yeah, and find some stability through that. But I, you know, it didn't exactly work out like that, but that is life. Like you're right. Like, but I think it's important still that like in life you still make a plan for things, but like still roll with it if it like kind of doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
You know, but like I do remember being out here and calling one of my friends from back home, being like, "Holy crap, this is crazy! Like I don't know anybody out here. Like I don't know what the hell is going on with this disease. Like I might just come back home." And yeah, dude, it was like a really hard time to be in a new place, and
Yeah.
also this like really like traumatic thing, not just for me but for like everybody in the world is like happening. Dude, it was hard, but honestly, I'm my friend on the phone told me to like stay and like nah, you just made like this whole move,
Yeah.
like just do it, and I'm glad that he did because
Yeah, because when things started probably popping when like summer 21. So you were you were out of commission for a while.
yeah.
But then even then, I'm sure, and when events started happening too, all those jobs are gonna go back to the regulars
the
that
people
been
that had them, they've
yeah
been
that
waiting,
that been
you
out of
know?
work, not the
Not new people.
yeah not
you
new
know?
people, right?
Luckily, I was able to get back in Guitar Center that way, and that was the whole reason why I like applied for Guitar Center in Virginia, was to just be around music people, because I know that's what I wanted to do. So I had that job out here, and that's kind of how I was able to network.
Yeah,
Actually, you know, you meet a lot of people in Guitar Center.
yeah,
I worked at the Sherman Oaks one.
yeah. It's
And
that has to be. I haven't been to it, but I'm sure that has to be a good one.
Dude, it actually like a car crashed into a fire hydrant near it, and the fire hydrant flooded the Guitar Center like 5 months ago, like 6 months ago.
Is there any
So
footage
it's closed,
of that?
dude. Yeah, you should look
Sherman
it
Oaks
up.
Guitar Center flood. That's terrible. That's criminal right there.
Yeah, because you know I have some friends that were still working there at the time, and they had posted it up, and like there was water coming in through the ceiling.
Crazy.
Like, dude, yeah,
God
that's it right there.
What the
What?
fuck?
Yeah, dude.
That's a ton of water.
Dude.
One fire hydrant? Oh, god damn, bro. Oh, it's right on the corner too,
Yeah.
huh? I immediately pictured it in a shopping center. So my brain was trying to process like
No,
how the
no.
fuck would a fire hydrant be right there and who's driving that fast? But no, on the corner that makes more sense.
Dude, yeah, and the thing is, there's two floors in there.
Oh.
There's like the top is like storage, and then the bottom is like where everyone, everything
Right,
happens and stuff. So the water must have gone through that top floor and down to the bottom. And oh my god, dude, things are so expensive in there. Like I can only imagine how much money, like how got destroyed
Yeah.
because of that,
Yeah,
And
that
also,
must have been bad.
I mean, it must have been bad, of course. It must have been super terrible. I say that, but I don't know. Like craziness kind of excites me. So
Yeah, I mean that's also they're a
like
giant.
non-regular shit.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just like, what
they're
the
also
fuck?
a giant corporation that has how many insurance contracts? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've been doing really bad though. They definitely went bankrupt
Yeah,
a couple of times, and like
yeah.
we're getting like in the middle of getting bought out by the time I left or something like that.
Hey, do
But
you think?
like they need to do better anyways. Like I'm not
Right,
gonna
right.
even keep
What's
going
their
on
like? They could be
that.
putting out tons of YouTube videos, right?
I
As
mean,
far as
they
like
could be treating their
tutorials.
workers better. Is just
Oh,
really
for
what
sure.
it is. I
And
feel
that,
like their payment structure is just changed a lot over the years to like not benefit people that actually work in there as much as it used to.
right,
And it kind of just like the money has kind of gone more towards like online kind of stuff,
right,
like
right.
everything. People just kind of order things online,
Yeah.
which I get. It's convenient.
We do the same thing, and then it's also that they're struggling as well too, right?
Yeah.
That, well, yeah. How many businesses are getting affected like that? What you think that's just due to Amazon? Or I mean, they could get a gang of fucking equipment on Amazon, right? Get your whole
Yeah.
setup.
I mean, I like Amazon because it's super convenient and get my food on there. But there's certain
Yeah.
things that like I feel like maybe instruments make sense to have like a physical place so you can
Right.
actually
Yeah.
play it.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
The little things that I have, like that, I bought them in a Guitar Center. I went to
yeah,
go
you
see
want
them
to touch
and
it,
fucked around with them, and for sure, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
that 100%, yeah. But like cables and interfaces
Yeah,
and
that's cool. I'll just
yeah,
order
all
that
that
shit.
like I
That's
know what I
all
want,
good.
and like mic stands and fucking speaker stands.
Dude, I
We're
heard
just getting what works.
I heard now that you can like shop using like AI and you can like try things on. And then like you'll have like a camera on you and there's like clothes and you just stand in front of the camera and it'll put the clothes on you. Like I could see that being taken over.
Yeah.
I would like to do that rather than go to the store. That's kind of
Right,
cool.
right, right. Or getting shit that doesn't fit right or looks kind of funky. And,
Yeah, you can
like,
try
oh,
different sizes
right.
like in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Instead of going to a whole fitting room.
How do you feel about AI like in the music, or have you fucked
Oh
around with it?
yeah.
Are you against it? Are you all for it? Because what is it doing now? Is it making like full beats and shit?
There are some things that are making full beats. A lot of them are like song starters where you can
Right,
get
right.
really good main ideas, but they're not. Well, yeah, it really depends on what you train the AI on, right?
Yeah,
you can
yeah, because
train
it's how you play it, right?
You can
Yeah.
train the AI. Basically, you can be like, "Hey, look at all these songs," and then basically that's all of the knowledge it can pull from, And so when you say "Make me a new song," it'll just look at like, "Okay, well, these are all the songs that I know about," and so this is where I'm going to extract from, and so that's how it makes a new one, And I mean, I guess the big like issue is like if those songs were the songs that AI is pulling from, like, is it allowed to pull from those
Right,
songs?
right.
You know
And
what
is
I
that a
mean?
sample? Is that not infringement, or like how do you specify that shit?
Yeah, you just gotta
This is
make
all
sure
new
that
territory.
whatever AI has permission
Right.
to use those songs, to be trained on it. I personally, I think it's cool. I think with any technology, it's like a tool.
Right, right.
Um, I I
I mean,
think
we
like it could make you kind of lazy if you rely too much on it. Like I could see myself sometimes even going to ChatGPT for things that I could just like take another few seconds to think through.
yeah, yeah, which
So like
that's has to be dangerous territory for sure, right?
yeah, it's those little like micro decisions that kind of slowly get you to
Right,
like
right,
not
right,
really
right.
using your mind that much.
Yep.
So
Maybe
like,
not this year, but 10 years
yeah,
from
you
now,
start
yeah.
if like yeah, you start doing it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, why even think
Critical
about
thinking.
anything down the road? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Which for like music creation, I feel like when I create music, it comes like I feel like I hear it more than like I make it.
Or
Like I
think it.
definitely like just play until I hear something that I like, but then I'll just like replay that until I hear something in my head and then I just make that. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like I could see AI helping in that beginning part where you're just making a few chords, you know what I mean, to like get something going. That is like where it could be super cool. Totally. I get brain block all the time or like, cuz that's what sampling is too. It's just like taking
Right.
from
You're
a
just
different
getting through
idea.
that first layer. That first
Yeah.
layer, like that first little, that rough
Yeah,
patch to get started,
sometimes
warming up and shit.
yeah, or
And
like
then once you
sometimes
get
you
through
don't know
that,
where
you're
to
rolling.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's always that little block and that little, like the monotony of it. Like, let me
Yeah.
get this. And,
Yeah. It
maybe,
takes a minute to
maybe I'm
kind
a little
of
tired and, like, let me play this. Let me find some inspiration. But now if
yeah.
you get kick started on something, then you're
You can get into the flow
right,
quicker,
right.
which
Which
is
that,
really what you
and
want.
that's what I was thinking that whole time. That like when you were talking, like, oh, the flow state, because there's undeniably a flow state to, I'm sure, most things, but music, crazy flow state. Like
Yeah.
once shit's working and clicking, like this fucking
I feel like in anything you do, you're trying to get to flow
right,
state.
right.
Like for real, when you're really trying to when you're putting like any intense focus on anything, you're trying to just get to that point where it's just like smooth.
Yeah.
I'm doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like with music, it's crazy. I can go a while and I'll forget that I'm hungry. Like I won't even eat. And that's what I'm trying to get to each
Yeah.
time. And
Not drink
yeah,
water, not think about anything. Just like, oh
definitely
shit, yeah.
trying to stay hydrated. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But like.
It could go a little while.
I want
It could go a
to
little
get to
while.
the state where I can forget that I'm dehydrated. I
Yeah.
guess. I think it's cool. I think it's cool. If it just depends on how you use it. But um, yeah, as long as it's not creating it all for you, cause like it just depends on where the human element comes
Right,
in.
right, right.
Either in the beginning
Yeah.
stages, like what we said, right, or it kind of comes in right there. Or in the end, in the editing stages. What if the AI made the entire song and all you're doing is trimming the fat? You know what I mean? And just cutting
Yeah.
out the shit
Nah,
that
that's not the
sounds
same
like
thing,
crap,
though.
or
Yeah.
like things that don't
Right,
align
right.
with your
Yeah.
past work.
I also think there's no way that music is the most, music's a soulful art. Not that any art is not soulful, but like, bro, you can't fake that passion. You can't fake that soul, that pain, that essence that comes from people when they're making music. Like the,
Yeah.
no AI song, no, it's never gonna sound like
Yeah.
that, bro.
It's that. Yeah,
It's
that
never
real
gonna
shit.
sound like that real shit. Like
Yeah.
that X or that, that
Yeah.
fucking.
And when it really hits you, when
When
you're
it
just like,
hits,
oh.
what is, what
Yeah,
is
that
this?
one
Yeah.
chord is just like,
Yeah,
fuck.
what the
Or
fuck?
that one
Yeah.
line where you're just like,
Yeah.
damn.
Running it, you gotta run it back a few times. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like that's just never gonna. Or those like
Yeah.
the sad songs. Like,
Yeah.
bro, like this is a hard. Like, who hasn't cried to a song?
Yeah.
So like that'll never. I don't.
Yeah.
That's impossible, bro.
There's like a magic to the
Yeah,
music.
yeah.
And you can tell.
And it's a. One would argue, it could study the music and study that passion, and then it could try to recreate it. But we've been it took us this whole fucking evolution to create that passion.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah.
It's gonna take that shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna take its whole evolution to
Yeah.
be able to create it too. And I don't know. That won't be music, right? Well, that's a long time from now. Who knows? But yeah, it's just interesting, just because like you're also a musician. You produce and you do your thing. So I don't know many people that are like, oh, like I'm using it to do this or do that. Even though like on Logic you can fucking just get a little like a session. They're called session players, and you could play. It gives you the whole MIDI and all the notes and everything. And you could play around with it and change like the texture, like the
Oh, interesting.
the time on it, like the
But it like makes the chord for you.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
see,
yeah.
like
and then you
I'm not
could,
even mad at that. Like that's cool. Like
right, and
it
you
can
can
help
delete
you.
notes and shit because it gives you the MIDI, so you could actually see it too. Like I
Yeah.
don't like that one, I'm gonna delete that one.
Yeah. See, that's the thing though. As long as it has that human element in it at some point, like the even if it's just the editing, like But then I guess that like wouldn't that change? Like, are you still like producer if the AI made the thing and you're just editing it?
It's more like just being an engineer, right?
I guess.
Yeah, because
I guess, but
engineers.
it's still you're still doing
But
like
that's production
you're
too,
still
though.
yeah it is production
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
like the
yeah.
creation of the thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you're taking out main elements and putting them in,
Which
and
is
stuff like
engineers
that.
do.
You know.
Engineers are always credited as producers, like on like the
No,
no,
no.
right?
Engineers, though, they're mainly doing like the either the recording of the vocals and
The mixing,
instruments, or the mixing,
right,
or the mastering. You
right.
know,
But guys,
producers do the. So I think of it like this: like, a producer is like playing the piano and playing the chords and playing the melody and all that, and then the engineer will come in and change how the piano sounds.
right.
He won't play the piano. He'll just go to the recording and change the texture of it or
It'll
something.
just make it'll make
That's
it
an
fit
engineer.
together, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But like the homies that are like close, so they're more like producers, right? Like mixed by Ali and these guys that work with one artist. Like I think
Well, no,
Alex
some-
Tomei is his name that will work with Thug. Like he would always record him, but they're like actually
Yeah.
structuring.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Well, they
sure
lock
they're
in so
putting
they-
input, right? They're putting input at least.
Well, probably because I know that when I've engineered, some artists have asked me kind of like because I guess when you're recording, it's hard to get that like third person perspective of the
Right.
art that you're making. You know what I mean? So like sometimes they'll ask the engineer
Yeah.
kind of what they think about.
Oh, we've had a session
know what I
too.
mean?
We've
Yeah.
had a session. I know exactly what you're
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
just like that. So I guess just in that sense,
That's production 100%. Like try this, try that, try this, try that. Well, because you're producing, like
not
when,
really.
no, that's like like an advisor. That's like advisor. Like
yeah. I guess
right?
this is kind of where it's like a gray area. Some people
Yeah.
would say that like, yeah, it is just because you're in the room, you're influencing the final product. So yeah, you are assisting in the production of this
Yeah.
thing. You know.
Like Rick
Uh,
Rubin, right?
Yeah, whereas others would argue that nah, it's literally if you touched the thing and made, if you touched the key,
Right.
played a note, sang a thing, whatever, like, then that is production. So it really depends. There's not really a black and white way of saying
Yeah.
it. It depends on whatever you agree on in the room.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Because to have it listed on a Grammy-winning album, that'll all everybody's agents or whoever, they all have to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this guy was producer and engineer for this record, and he gets
Yeah.
both credits. And
Yeah.
would they get 2 Grammys too for like,
Yeah, well, yeah, that's why even a lot of people don't like they are, I guess, picky about who is in the room while they're creating music.
right, right.
I do think that whoever's in the room does influence the song, even if they don't say anything. Just
Yeah.
because like your awareness that they're in the room might change what you would say or wouldn't say.
Yeah, yeah.
Or would or wouldn't play.
Or you could even be like, oh, like you could trick yourself, be like, oh, like I'm gonna go even a little bit more harder because
Yeah.
that person's in there and I don't
Yeah.
know him or her, and they're just kind of
Yeah.
sitting around and we haven't
And
talked.
it
So,
influences.
yeah,
it.
yeah. So
there's
it can
certain
influence in a
pressure.
good way or a bad way too. Like, oh, I'm gonna get that motherfucker's attention after this take.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, deciding who is the producer and who is not is
Yeah,
not really
who's the engineer.
defined right now.
Yeah.
The engineering kind of. I mean, that separating producer from engineer makes sense. But if, like me personally, I engineer my music while I produce, so it's
Yeah.
like
It's
different.
probably also
which
the
a lot of
size of-
producers now do that. Because
Yeah.
a lot of production you need to learn engineering anyways, and
Right, right.
why not save a few?
Rappers and artists should all.
A lot of rappers are trying to learn how to produce even,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
they don't have to
which-
like go on YouTube.
which they
and-
should, which they should.
Why not, man?
Yeah.
I could see a future where there's like a bunch where everyone. Honestly, I think everyone should like create music in some
Yeah,
way. to be
yeah. I was
honest.
thinking about that. Was like the vibe of the studio too. Like that shit. It's really
That's different.
You're right.
Yeah. That goes into like energy too, right? Because like I used to always say, like, me as an engineer, part of my job is just feeling the vibe of the room and kind of going with that, right? Because you got to make sure
Right.
that the artist feels comfortable. You got to make sure that, like, because you want to get the best take out of them, so you got to really like know how they're feeling.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
they'll like bring a partner too, and then that can affect how they're feeling too. And so
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
kind of like
Try
move with
to try to
that.
read the room, huh, and
Yeah,
try to play
keep
to it.
things like at a good vibe. I've had definitely a couple people come in as like a couple, and like it can be awkward sometimes.
Right,
Sometimes
right,
they'll
right.
come in and they're arguing, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the guy's got to record, and I gotta, oh
Try
yeah,
to
I'm
tone
ready,
it down.
No, I don't step
And then
in, you know what I
he goes
mean?
and drops a diss track.
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I couldn't understand what you were saying. Let's do it again, or like, yeah, like you know what I mean? Just
Delete
strictly technical shit,
delete
like,
that.
yeah.
Delete that. So it's also the size of the room too, right? As far as like the engineering and the producing, like when they get smaller, like the session we had where it's like me, you, the two homies, like that's where you probably step way more into the producer realm too, because you're tapping in like, oh, try your vocals like this or change this. Whereas if it's a big session and a bunch of motherfuckers in there, the engineer's kind of probably just sitting down and fucking clicking away on
Yeah.
whatever task at hand.
Well, it depends, I guess, on the relationship between the engineer and the artist. So, like,
Yeah.
I know for me, when I was engineering, I never really had a conversation with the artist beforehand about how they like to be engineered because I don't even now know how to approach that. I would kind of just feel it out and, like, kind of throw in some suggestions to test the waters out and see how they feel.
Yeah, how
You
they
know what I
respond to
mean?
it. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes
Something light.
something light, yeah, yeah. Or like if I throw a suggestion out and they kind of were like feeling it or trying it out, or like I'll know, and they especially if they liked it, then I'll know that like they're more open
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me suggesting.
Yep.
Some of them kind of want to be in their
Which
in
kind of
their
gives you that
world,
that
you know.
permission too, right? So you could like be more involved.
Yeah, exactly. Though I've heard that a lot of artists like engineers that are more involved, but I think it really does depends on the artist, because like
Yeah.
the thing for me that was hard is like I would get artists come in and like I have no idea what their art is supposed to sound like. So I
Right.
didn't really feel comfortable telling them that they should say a certain word this way because I don't know if they're saying it that way because that's how it's supposed to sound with the whatever act. Some people use an accent when they're singing or rapping, you know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Or I don't know
Yeah.
if like I don't know, it just
They
depends.
they could even be walking. They could even be trying something new on that session. Like
Yeah.
like they're maybe dabbling
Yeah.
in a different vocal tone or a different genre or
And you don't
whatever.
want to shut them
And you
down.
don't, and they're probably like, oh, and they would do that also because it's like, all right, for this one, I want to take it to a studio and I'm gonna try
Yeah.
it there. Like, I need
Yeah.
that vibe,
Yeah.
and that's a delicate. It's a very delicate.
Exactly,
Situation, right?
exactly. Like when you're recording with the artist, like they're very vulnerable. Like they're like in there to express their feelings and their emotions. Like
Yeah.
like imagine X in the studio and he's talking about all these like really heavy things. You know
Right,
what I'm
right, right.
saying? Like you're and then you're in there and your job is just to listen to all these things and make sure it sounds like a certain way. You know what I mean? So
Crazy.
and you got to communicate to them about their performance, but also like be aware of like maybe their feelings. It might be in a certain emotional state because they have to get into an emotional state to perform this thing. So you kind of gotta move with those things. So
It's complete. It's an absolute balance right there. Like
yeah,
fucking.
yeah. It's about feeling their vibe and being like very tact, and like making sure that you communicate in a super clear way with like respect at all times and like
Right, which is crazy to think that it's not a good job for like a self-centered person at all, right?
yeah,
It's
not
like,
engineering. No,
no,
it really
no,
isn't.
that's crazy, right? Like you really have to be a people person to a very high degree. I mean, if you want to be good at what you do, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah. And be able to communicate with them well. You have to have a lot of patience.
right,
I've had some artists who will do the same take 100 times, the exact same 3 words. You know what I mean? Which like is crazy to think.
yeah, it's tough, huh?
But some people are picky with how they want it to
Yeah.
sound, which I get. I've definitely
It's their
done.
session too.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. We'll use the time however you want, but that's the thing. It's you're there for them. No matter how like bored you are and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
which
whatever.
that's
you
which
know?
that's tough though too, right? Because it's like it's a job. I mean, it also I guess represents who you are as a person, right? Because I know I've lived this way. Like I thought this way when I was young. I'm sure most young people do. Like, I don't give a fuck about this job. Like, I'm just here to get my check. I'm on to bigger things. But
Mm-hmm.
it also represents who you are too. Like, you're not just there for the pay. Like, you're presenting. You're making this agreement with yourself. Like, oh, I'm gonna work like this, or I'm not gonna work like this, or I'm gonna be thinking about this other play that I already got going on like that. Where
Yeah.
and that's similar to engineering because you don't like you'd much rather be making something great because you are an engineer because you love to make music
Mm-hmm.
rather than just being like, all right, this is their fucking this is
Yeah.
their session and they're kind of like just blowing off this session today and they're wasting this money and my time, but this is also my job, so I can't really like fucking change the whole room and make a big speech like, yo, what the fuck, like let's fucking
Yeah.
record something.
Exactly.
That's something
Yeah.
more you do with the homies like that. But you're really
Yeah.
trying to achieve the dream with like, yo,
Yeah.
like what's up, like what's going on. But
Those.
when you're in a
Yeah.
business side of it, like that's an interesting dynamic right there for sure.
Yeah. Because you're there for them. You got to be there to support them. You know?
However they want to move it too, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And every artist is different. Every artist has personalities. Every artist has egos to a certain degree. They have to, they got to care
Yeah.
about themselves and their image and stuff. So being able to work with a bunch of different personalities is important.
Also,
You
even
know.
like I guess genres of people too, right? Like types of people.
Yeah, different types of people
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I mean, more
Yeah.
like emo shit or
Yeah.
rappers or who's
Yeah.
pulling up with a whole crew of
A
the
100%.
whole
All
squad.
that,
Oh shit, what's up with
Dude, I had to learn how to engineer and roll a blunt at the same time, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't know how to roll a blunt before I was
There you go.
engineering. but they're just like, oh, okay, hit record, and they'll just hand me the weed and hand me the
yeah.
the
Let me
papers or
punch in right
whatever.
here. Like, hold up, dog. I'm
Yeah.
trying to roll this at the same time. Let me punch in.
Now I feel like music is being so heavily paired to like visual content that like it's
Right.
hard to just like have music. It's hard to be discovered through just your music.
Oh, I would.
You know
I
what
would.
I'm
I hate to
saying?
say it, but I would say it's damn near impossible, right?
Yeah, unless it's already being played somewhere, but then it's like you don't need to be discovered if it's being played.
Yeah,
somewhere.
because that probably died with the SoundCloud era, right? That was the last.
Oh my gosh!
Like
yeah,
X
I feel
and
that.
X, Russ, and who
People would
else?
just go and listen.
Post Malone and all them. They were the last of that fucking SoundCloud era. Like who? PNB Rock maybe. But SoundCloud didn't last for me very long because I wasn't listening to it for like a
Yeah, I
long
wasn't
time.
listening too much. I would for just like DJ remixes.
Yeah, after that I converted to Apple Music pretty quick. Once I started actually looking for music and making music and trying to keep up with all the new shit that was happening.
Right.
I converted to Apple
Yeah,
pretty
'cause it's
damn
so
fast.
convenient too.
Yeah. I seen a clip of a guy and he was saying that an artist before he wrote the song he said, all right, what type of content can I make from this?
That's crazy.
And
that's not what I think about.
Right. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna make a video that I have a sign and it says, if you're having a bad day, come put the headphones on. It's that guy. You probably seen him.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people seen
Or
him.
the beach or some shit.
Yeah. So it was him, and he's like, oh, but now he does music full time. So he's like, he treated that one song like a business, like a marketing tool, and now he does music full time. So
Well,
it's like,
see, I guess it works then.
he,
I mean,
like, he
like,
sacrificed the soul of one song. Maybe, I don't know, because that's just kind of also just framing the song differently, right?
Yeah.
It's like going into the studio and saying, all right, I want to make a mad song or a happy song today. But
I feel it.
It's
Yeah,
like
I
most
get
things,
it.
everything's, you could break it down unlimited, right? Because what's more artistic than somebody having a bad day and you try to help them out? Like that's art for sure, right? Or
Yeah.
like trying to lend a helping hand through your art.
Yeah.
That's why people make sad songs, right? And happy songs.
Dude, all my songs at first were sad as hell, dude. I was fucking depressed when I first started. Honestly, it's really what helped me get through a lot of things when I first started making music. I really do think that music. I heard someone say recently, which probably is a better way of saying it, that Music's supposed to help you first, and then you can use it to help other people. Something like that. I agree with that. I feel that.
Right. Right.
Um, I would want my music to help. Whoever it could. But first, it's gotta help me if I'm gonna make it. Whatever creator you are, whatever artist. You got it's gotta make you happy. Like, and I've been approaching my production like that too. I gotta
Yeah.
make sure that I fuck with it, that I like, that I'm nodding my head while I'm making it.
Right.
Or like that I'm feeling it. Because if I'm not feeling it, it doesn't matter if someone else feels it.
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to represent me. So
Do you think that also your connection of trying to enjoy it? That's probably how we avoid burnout too, right? And like falling on, like event starting to hate the game a little bit, like
Yeah.
because the
when you turn it
the
into work, you mean?
making music will never take away the passion of making music, but everything that comes with trying to be successful in making music, that'll take away the
That'll-
passion of music.
Yeah.
If you let it, of course.
Yeah, if you let it.
yeah.
If you let it. Yeah.
Or if you don't do your diligence to, like change what's not working. Because if you start feeling like like I'm this or whatever, then you should be like, all right, like, well, let me change it up,
Yeah.
and then you'll kind of avoid any big burnout sessions or
Yeah, I
those
feel.
feelings.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to keep spicing it up. I feel like,
Right.
to like avoid burn. I know I make like different kinds of music. Like, I don't. I feel like trying to make money off of your art is really kind of what ruins like the spark for it sometimes, and maybe it puts like unnecessary pressure on when you're creating, because when you're creating, you start to think about whether or not this is like marketable, or like whether or
Yeah.
not I can make money off of this,
Or
and it influences those decisions.
Yeah.
And so then you can't. Now you're not creating and to push the boundary of your own creativity, or just to express yourself, or whatever you want to do.
you're making a business move.
Yeah, you're trying to make a business move, and
Yeah.
then that's where the soul gets sucked out. Because now it's like you're making something that's like for the general public, and when you do that, it's not really for anyone in particular.
Yeah.
So
Not
it's like
anyone
no
that
one really
matters,
likes it.
yeah.
You know?
Everybody just kind of. I mean, they could kind of like it, but at this stage,
Yeah, it's the general thing. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
there's
I
no.
want to say Drake music. You can just
Yeah.
kind of play it, but, and it's kind of like, though, it's not
Kinda
fair to
like-
say that, because I fuck with like Drake music.
Well, of course, there's
Yeah,
songs that are
yeah.
absolutely incredible that
But
I'll
it's-
listen to the rest of my life.
Of
for
course,
sure,
of
you know,
course,
there's-
but it's like that kind of music. He has some songs that you can just play, and it's like
Yeah,
generally.
generally
I know most
accepted,
people
yeah.
will accept listening to this in this
Yeah, I
setting.
feel
You
you.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's also definitely really hits when you're trying to make music by yourself. That's when it hits more, where you could really kind of like mind fuck yourself and start thinking about like this issue of, oh, like, damn, is this even, can I even come up with an idea for this, or
Yeah.
yeah, that's when you really can.
It's that internal
Right.
mental.
That dialogue, yeah, that little battle, because when we're talking about that, like, you sit down and you're like, all right, how is this marketable, or how is this whatever it needs to be. And the thought that I had from my own experience was like, I would sit down and boom, and like, fuck, like, bro, like, this is what I love, this is what I gotta do, I gotta do this for the rest of my life. I gotta do this, and I would like get it into my head that I had to work so hard that day, that moment, that
That's burnout.
it's
for
impossible.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to work that hard that day, bro. Like, it's fucking 9 o'clock. I gotta be up at 4 in the morning. Like,
Yeah,
I got.
you
paid.
just can't consistently do it all the time.
Yeah, and I could. Well, I probably got an hour of this shit, and I gotta fucking conquer the world,
Yeah.
and that was definitely not being able to appreciate a small win. Like, I made half a loop. I wrote one bridge. I spit one freestyle that was
That's
dope.
key right there.
And I
dude.
recorded it, and I turned off the system, and I knocked out, and I got and I continued on with my life. Like, that was
It's
something I had to
important,
learn.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's so important, though, dude. those like recognizing even when you have those small wins, you
Right, right,
know,
yeah.
and then appreciating it, and then actually accepting it. You know, it's like all those things.
And you don't really get any huge wins or any like fire streak, like a hot streak where you're fucking rolling without those small wins anyway, huh? Which is
Yeah,
crazy to think about.
yeah. And
Like, you-
sometimes you make music and it kind of sucks ass, and that's still a win. You know what I mean? Because
right,
like
yeah.
that's like a part of it too. You kind of gotta suck ass sometimes, because it's like impossible to be awesome every single time. You know. So it's like a win when you suck too, and it's like that's another. You just keep it going.
It's
You
like
know.
all upside. It's literally
Yeah, so
upside
it's
crazy.
this it's like the stock market. It's like going up,
Yeah.
it's going down, but it's going up.
It's always going up.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Crazy. The stocks are always becoming
Yeah.
more valuable no
Yeah.
matter what, even though they go down. But
Yeah.
over time, because like time, damn.
Yeah. But
Time,
go ahead.
it's like time becomes more valuable too now. Like, because even the money, how much money, like how we're saying the stocks keep going up and then they get bigger and bigger. And time
Yeah.
is what makes it more valuable. 'Cause
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
damn, so
Yeah.
even, like our time is more valuable than it's ever been, right? Than for
I think
human
time is the
existence.
most valuable, my dude. At every moment.
Right.
Every moment. All the time. You know, having control over your time. I remember once when I was working at Guitar Center in Virginia, I told them I was like I need more time to be able to work on music because like I said I didn't know anyone, so I was like I need to take the first week off of every month and to go and do music stuff, and then you can schedule me for the last 3 weeks however you want. And they're like, okay, that sounds good. And so they did
Yeah.
that. So I had the first week off of every month. You know what I mean? And it's like and it's so like I've never heard anyone do that, but it's like such a random
Sweet
thing
deal,
to do.
yeah, sweet deal.
And it's like I didn't know if he was gonna actually accept it or not, but he did. You know, and it's like it's cool. You know, and yeah, just time is valuable, man, and like finding ways to make sure that you have control over your own is key. I feel like we don't have a lot of it. I know I've wasted so much of it already. You know, doing
Yeah.
some bullshit.
Yeah, haven't we
You
all?
know?
Haven't we all, bro?
Yeah.
Haven't we? But that's part of the trick of like you could easily feel that way and you'll get into that like dark spot where like, oh shit, like fuck, bro, I wasted so much time. Like, damn, all this other time I could have been making music. Fuck, I would have been further along in my career already, like,
I think about that all
oh
the
shit,
time, dude.
yeah,
It's-
but
which
that's
is such a
it's a trap.
sucky thought.
It's a trap.
Dude.
It's such
so
a trap.
bad, you know.
Yeah.
Because we're all on our own, like timelines, and like and
There's no controlling it. All you can do is accept it, right? I mean,
yeah, it's like when you're thinking about that kind of stuff, you're like comparing your current life to this imaginary life that maybe possibly could have been,
right,
but does not exist. You're not even seeing anyone else live this life. You're
Is-
just comparing it
right,
to like if I had made this decision, maybe things would have gone down this road. But it's like that's just all in your head, dude.
yeah. There's
And
maybe if you took the time to make a story out of it, then it could be something, or like a movie or a song or some type of art. Then it could
sure, all the
could,
time.
maybe that would make it matter. But if you're not gonna do that, it don't matter at all. Then like it's just wasted energy, wasted momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the
And it makes you feel like shit. But that's what happens sometimes when you're like in the throes of it, of like this up and down.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
Of like being like, cause I do music and it's like this like I'm like pursuing this thing that I'm not sure is gonna happen. Like this is why like I also really like math and science, because like you can have an equation and there's a specified answer at the end.
Right.
You're right or wrong, but with this thing that I'm doing, with this music thing or this life thing, there's I don't know if I'm gonna be
This thing.
successful, but I'm dedicating so much time into it and like so much effort and all these things, and like
Yeah,
but
and
also because I
there's-
love it too, and like there's no promise of success.
And there's no formula to it, well, that's what you said, but like there's literally no formula like that. You don't, what worked yesterday might not work at all today.
Yeah.
Something you thought was a banger yesterday, you play it and like, this shit not really happening at all. Or,
Yeah.
or you gotta come in and do like something. You know, if you write first, like fuck it, I gotta make the beat first. Or if you always gotta hear the beat, like fuck it, let me write the song and then let's make the beat after. Or I gotta fucking do this. You know, I gotta record in the car 10 freestyles and then bring it in and see which one fucking has a core of a song, a bar, a concept that can be built into something.
Yeah,
'Cause it's like it's
used.
weird. It's super dynamic. You have
Yeah, there's no one way to do it.
there's no one way to do it, but it also requires
You got to find your own way to
multiple
do
ways.
it.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
multiple.
you take a little bit from other.
yeah,
other
multiple
people.
times in the day too. Like, my day sessions were good. Oh, next week night sessions or the Saturday. It's crazy.
You
but
try
like
different things.
yeah, and like Friday night, Saturday night sessions, those like kind of lit ones. That's something I wanted to ask you too, because we talked about the sessions like with people when it doesn't go smooth, or however they play their time, if they want to waste time or whatever. But how is it like when it's the same dynamic, like you're meeting somebody, like, oh shit, like I got this session, and then it goes wow, but it's still, you still have that risk in the beginning, like, oh shit, like I don't know how this is gonna go. It's a new person, like I don't know how to play it, how to help them make their art that they're trying to make, and then but it changes to like, nah, this is a dope ass session. It went well, and
Well, I usually love those. Those are cool because really it's just like about like the chemistry that you have with the artist, and it really is like finding those. Like I try to just find things that I have like in common. I try to make them laugh sometimes. You know what I mean? Make a little joke or something, or just like show some support. It depends on like their personality too.
Right,
you
right.
know what I mean, and how they're feeling. But usually I love those. My favorite are the ones where it's like the artist has like similar music taste as me, because then I feel like I can provide more. Like I feel like I can do more for them to make
it's
their
like,
vision come to life.
It's like
because now we're in my playing field.
right, that common ground.
Yeah,
It's like a little
exactly.
permission to like,
Yeah, it's
he
like, dude,
fucks with
I
this.
know exactly what you're going for. I
Right,
can
right.
do it. You know what I mean? And
I
that
can hear it.
I can hear it. You know.
I can see how you're trying to play it.
Yeah, I can't really do that for like rock music. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like, I don't know. I've listened to enough of it to maybe engineer it, but as far as adding creative production, I don't think I could do that. You know.
But maybe if you were working with them for
a while, probably.
if
I listen to
like,
it.
he's good, let's get him back for the rest of this week.
I start liking his music. I'm like, yo, who do you
yeah.
listen to? Who inspires you?
Yeah.
Start listening to those
you're
people.
From where? You're from where? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Start learning about it.
It's interesting, right? Like you said, a rock band. I already like immediately in my own mind, I just picture like OGs.
Shit, for real?
Yeah, like 50-year-old band or.
You listen
40.
to rock?
Some rock, yeah, for sure. I mean,
Oh,
hell
man.
yeah, bro. Absolutely.
I definitely don't.
No,
unfortunately.
like not even like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I listen to some Red Hot Chili
Yeah,
Peppers.
yeah.
Yeah, I've listened to probably like pop
For
rock.
sure, yeah. I
stuff,
mean, even
you know?
yeah. Well, I mean,
You know?
I know like people hate Creed, but Creed's awesome.
I
Right?
haven't even listened to Creed.
No.
Dude.
Well, you heard the one song.
I probably heard the one song.
Everybody's heard the
I've
one
heard
song,
the
bro.
one song.
Arms wide open.
Yeah.
Arms wide open. Yeah, everybody's are down. But yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's so. Everybody should be in a studio session. It's such a vibe, bro. Like the big ones, the small ones. Like
Yeah.
motherfuckers gotta get friends that make music and go tap in, because that shit's a fucking vibe,
Yeah.
bro. It's so fun. It's so fun. It's so.
Yeah, my
It's so
favorite
cool,
is
man.
working on just obviously music that I like, but obviously even more so my own personal music.
Right.
And like that's something that I wasn't doing as an engineer as much.
Yeah.
So it's
What-
been nice not engineering. That's something that I haven't been doing
Yeah.
as much recently. As much as I love it. I mean, I've been engineering my own music. And that's
you're
fun.
still doing it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still engineering, just not other people, or maybe just not other people's music, I should say, because I've engineered for singers, but for my music, which is like super nice and super fun, because now I'm like I have a creative hand in while I'm engineering more.
You're a
so,
part of
you
a
know
little
what I'm
something
saying?
more meaningful.
Yeah. I have more chips in there, I guess, so I can
Yeah,
actually
because
do
you could have
something.
that studio session, and you're still thinking about your shit. Like you're still like, oh, I want to make some. You know, you're working and
Yeah.
you're like helping, and you're kind of you're getting to scratch that itch. But then that also just gives you it more puts more battery on your
Yeah.
mind to be like, nah, like this makes me want to make my shit even more. You know, like I
Yeah.
want to do that.
Yeah, because you definitely learn a lot. I mean, I've learned a lot just from working with artists too. Artists teach me when I'm like recording too. They be knowing things, you know. Even at the when I was like engineering more other people like for the studio, like I was like less experienced, so I was just learning a lot of things there. You
Just
know
on the
what I
go.
mean? Just on the go, yeah, man. Which is which is cool, and I really appreciate that. You know, super fun. Um, but I really like production more, to be honest. Production and DJing. DJing is pretty fun too. You know, getting the party going.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucking awesome, huh?
Yeah, and having as far as the production goes, like having different genres to be able to make music in is pretty fun
Right,
because
right.
then it keeps it from getting stale. Yeah.
Have you been like recording people too and like making full songs and shit with
Yeah,
yeah like
yeah, definitely. Last year I
vocals
were
and everything?
yeah, last year I finished a project with with a singer songwriter. Her name is Queen. She's fucking fire. She's dope, and we're just it's just sounding so amazing. But like
Is it out yet?
we did the project. No, not yet.
Oh, for
Not
sure.
yet. Yeah. It's recorded. We got some visuals shot, but it's almost ready to be out. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
fair to say
But
coming soon.
definitely,
Hell yeah, it's
definitely.
titled and everything.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well.
What's that?
But it's yes,
You're figuring
it's
it
not
out,
ready.
figuring it out,
Yeah, it's
figuring it
not
out.
ready, but
Well,
it's
it's on the
coming.
way. It's on the way. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
and it's cool though because it has like R&B and also some Afro beats on it. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Well, I'll be sure to tap in. Well, for sure,
Yeah, man.
check some out.
But it's like cool having like different genres because I'll do that and then also have like make some electronic music. You know, some dance music. You know?
Yeah, some house.
Yeah, dude. Some house music, man. Some
Yeah,
Afro
yeah.
beats. You know, I've been trying to get the people moving, people dancing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, get the
that
booty shaking.
that that doesn't happen in well like trap and everything. What rap became in the party scene, like it kind of lost the
Yeah.
like the feel of it. You know, like
Yeah,
the
that's where you kind of just like
yeah, like where
you
you're
kind of
just
just chill. You're just like, oh yeah, this is cool.
yeah, or I guess it would, but you just get like super turned up though too on like jumping around.
Yeah.
But something that's a little more boppy, like you're kind of like swaying with the beat.
Dude, I was listening to Biggie like literally today while I was making
Right.
breakfast. It was so fire, and it's like, man, that's he gets the people dancing.
Yeah.
You know, you can play that and it's still like some dancing music. You know, but it's not like also grinding. You can just kind of vibe to it. You know, I love that.
Had it been a while since you listened to some
Well,
Biggie?
I guess yeah, definitely.
Probably right. That's
I
probably
guess
why
the
it
past
hit
few
too.
days,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the past few days I've been listening to some old school rap.
Tapping
Just-
back in.
Yeah,
Tapping
man.
back in.
You know, been feeling it. You gotta go. Sometimes just look for inspiration. You know, and also just the vibe, man. Sometimes you're just looking for a certain energy. That was the
Yeah.
energy.
Or are you even just looking for the music to take you back to, like, give you a memory that you had forgot about?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I remember this song. We did that today. We did that today.
Yeah,
Like, right?
even that.
Talking about the
even
fucking
that.
chocolate.
Yeah.
We were playing this song right there.
Yeah, that's
Dang,
right.
like now I gotta go. Now I gotta listen to it. You know, tomorrow or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, it's funny how music connects you like that. When's the last time you listened to Shaggy?
Oh, it was a while for sure, bro.
For me, it was like a few days ago,
Yeah.
dude. See, it's crazy, man. But like, oh,
Well, I would
man.
probably listen to him the last time. Have you seen the Vice documentary
No.
on It Wasn't Me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have
With
you
the
seen it?
DJ from like Hawaii, or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. So
Yeah, dude.
I had watched that, and then I was playing his catalog, or not his catalog, his hits,
Okay.
the top songs. You know, I was
Okay.
playing. So that was a couple years ago, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, that incredible.
Yeah.
Huh?
There's just like certain like old songs that still stay with me, like no matter
Yeah,
what.
timeless. Timeless.
Yeah,
Timeless.
man.
Well, we were rolling around and a song of the Isleys came on. I don't know what song it was. But
Oh man.
pretty sure it was the Isleys. I was
know,
like, bro,
I
there's
already
no
know.
R&B that's better than this. Like,
Yeah,
there's
dude.
nothing that anybody's doing. Like, there's nothing better than this. This is as good as anything.
It's like
out
that
right
thing
now.
where you could like faintly hear in the distance and it'll
Yeah.
still catch your ear. It's like, oh yeah, oh this is fire, and I know, you know,
It's just a fucking breeze, huh?
dude.
It's just literally a breeze. Crazy.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. 50 Cent for some reason. For some reason, in the club is just always it'll just randomly pop into my mind.
Hey, just let it roll.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man.
Just let it fucking yeah. I mean, 50's a
little,
goat.
little earworm in there, you know.
He became like he's a savage, huh, bro? I feel like he's undefeated. He's like the internet, huh? He like just beefs with talk shit about everybody. Like
Yeah,
he been talking shit about Diddy for like 5 years, like
Yeah,
forever, right?
Yeah. He almost seems untouchable though. I'm
Right,
not gonna
right,
lie.
crazy. Yeah, he's like
Like,
a
I feel
bully
like
too. He be bullying
yeah, that's
everybody.
what I'm saying.
bro.
Like,
He be,
I feel like he
talking
always
shit,
got a
yeah.
comeback for something.
Yeah, he got like a lot of quotables too. Like,
Yeah, man.
Why Floyd say fuck me? You should have said fuck. Like, I didn't do nothing.
He's got
He
the mental games.
Yeah, like, little funny shit too though. I get like
Yeah.
he's real like just real fucking funny jokes, huh?
Yeah.
He tried to challenge Floyd to fucking read what's that shit called? A teleprompter. Like,
Oh.
or a book or something.
Yeah.
Like if you can read one page off Harry Potter, I'll donate 50,000 to whatever charity you pick. Fucking guy.
Oh my goodness.
Hell yeah, bro. What a vibe. What a vibe. This has been dope.
Yeah, man. I've had a great time, dude.
Right? It's cool,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah,
dude.
for sure. We'll run it back, definitely. So yeah, what's next for you, bro? The name of the podcast is Going From Here. So where are you going from here, bro? What's next? What's on the horizon?
Yeah, so basically I'm just gonna be releasing my music, you know, just
yeah.
like I moved out here to LA a few years ago, and I've gone through a lot of things, but what I haven't been able to do is really release my own music. You
Yeah.
know? So honestly, I'm just excited to be able to do that. So here in the next month or so,
Let's go.
you know what I'm saying? Just be
Hey.
on the lookout, man.
Yeah. What's the names or what are your
Oh,
what it be
well,
under?
Well,
Is that
I go by Aternum, Aternum, but Instagram is Aternum.music.
Yeah, and then
you
on
can find
streaming
me there.
services, because this will
On
probably
streaming,
be
yeah.
dropping a month from now when your music's dropping, so it'll
Yeah,
be perfect
yeah.
too.
So yeah, it'll just be Aternum, Aternum.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's your boy out here, man.
Well, yeah, hey,
go
hopefully, and we're
find
gonna
it,
get some
man.
sessions in too, and I'm sure we'll be
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
we'll have something on the way
Oh,
definitely before the
definitely.
year's over.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
definitely,
bro.
man. We got him coming out, man. I'm always down to work, man.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure. I
let's get it,
appreciate
bro.
you
Oh, yeah, it's
having
been
me
fun,
out here
huh?
today, big dog.
Yeah, I got you. We'll run it back for sure.
Yeah, dude.
It's even cool too, like a different thing. Like there's so many ways to play a podcast. Like it gives you so much. It gives you so much. There's a lot of creativity
Yeah,
too, bro.
I
Like
feel
imagine,
it.
like
I
we
feel
could
it.
we could easily drop a song that we make on just debut it on the end of the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
boom, just add it to the end of the video, and that's the only spot to watch it. So people, oh shit.
True that.
Boom, like little game like that artists could definitely take advantage of some. And something else that I thought earlier that I have to bring back up was that the game that we're giving younger artists or younger producers and stuff that
Mhm.
earlier, like talking about the burning
yeah.
out and this and that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's crazy too. Like 'cause
Yeah, we can even go in more like on those topics.
right,
you
right.
know
And
what I
and
mean?
they're not when I was 21, 22 getting started, like I had no idea or no concept or like,
Yeah,
what's
about
that?
what
Like,
it's
that's
even
not gonna happen
like.
to me. Like I'm just gonna
You don't
fucking-
even know what you
Yeah,
don't know.
You don't exactly. You really don't know what
the
you don't
things
know.
You should be knowing.
Yeah. And you really have to figure out that maturity, like now at this age, bro. Honestly, like, damn, like nah, you gotta like that small win, the 30 minutes, the shitty beat, whatever it is,
Yeah.
like being able to, cause you're and it's healthy though too, right? Which is a trip, cause you really have to do work fucking crazy hard to achieve your dreams, because that's why they're tough to get, because
Yeah,
they're so
yeah,
valuable. But you
yeah,
have to know, like, nah, like, just this win right here, that's today's win, and
yeah,
that's the dub, and I'm gonna be patient and play it smooth. So yeah,
yeah.
it's
That's
fucking fun,
cool. We
bro.
can do
It's
a
fun.
lot of great things.
Right, right.
You
And
know,
so we, as
we,
in the we, right?
yeah, we just, in general, we did do a great thing. I feel like,
Hell yeah, yeah,
you
bro.
know, yeah. This is
Damn.
cool, man. Yeah, wow, what a fucking vibe.
Hell yeah, bro. Cheers.
Cheers, big dog.